Good morning and good afternoon to everyone joining us for this final breakout session. We are now approaching the end of the Young SDG Innovators Summit, and I hope our audience and participants have enjoyed the event so far and all the great solutions that have been presented in the showcasing. For this session, I want to take some time to go into a bit more practical details about the program to any interested company that have been watching and might be wondering how they can sign up and participate with their own team of young innovators, and what benefits they can expect from the program. I will then invite two guests to the panel to hear directly from a person who has been involved in this round, as well as a member of the YSIP, the Young SDG Innovators Program Steering Committee, to share some words on how YSIP may develop for future rounds. So I'm going to get started presenting. So YSIP, what actually is the program all about? It is one of the UN Global Compact's Accelerator programs, which means that it's globally designed, but then delivered locally through our local networks. It's a youth and innovation and entrepreneurship accelerator specifically that aims to activate these future business leaders by teaching them how they can use the SDGs to unlock new business opportunities, and then also to rethink these traditional business models. In more practical terms, it is a program that stretches over a 10-month period. So it's quite a lengthy commitment for companies, where they select a team of 2 to 4 young professionals to go on a journey to identify a sustainability challenge that the company is facing. Once this challenge is then properly defined, the team then starts to work on a solution to this very challenge. They attend, and they do this by attending facilitated camps and workshops, and where they are equipped with tools and techniques to help them on their journey and to develop to help them develop a project that is of value to the company. It is fundamentally designed to engage or to help companies engage the best and the brightest talents to not just advance their company's sustainability performance and efforts, but also to drive innovation and to deliver tangible solutions with potential market value. So here you can see the 16 countries that are currently running the program. We are expecting this list to increase in 2022. But as you can see, we have representation from all over the world. So if your local network is not running the program, do let them know, because that demand can also help them actually implementing the program in their country. And in terms of the companies that have joined, we don't discriminate between large or small, medium-sized companies. Everyone are very welcome. We have also engaged a number of subsidiary companies throughout the past 2 rounds. And you can see some of the examples here on the screen that we have managed to engage some of the largest companies in the world. In terms of benefits that the companies can expect to experience as part of their participation, it's quite straightforward. Of course, it enables them to accelerate the integration of the SDGs into their company's strategy through collaboration, innovation, and knowledge sharing with not just their own company, but with all the other companies that are part of that country, and then also globally, as we offer those kind of exchange opportunities with local networks or other local networks that are running the program. It creates a culture of innovation to address the SDGs and to showcase it has a very tangible output and results in comparisons to some of the other programs that your company might have participated in, which we're very proud of. In addition to that, you also gain global recognition for participation in the program, as you can see from this event, the Young SDG Innovators Summit, which we're holding every year, where we offer companies with the best solutions to present them in front of a panel of judges and in front of a global audience. And then, of course, it increases employee engagement and professional development opportunities for valued talent throughout the organization. In terms of the program outcomes, We have managed to engage over the span of these 2 years, 870 young professionals from 335 companies from those 16 countries that I mentioned before. And we also measure the satisfaction from a scale from 1 to 5. And we're very proud of the fact that we have managed to get an average satisfaction score of 4.3. Very happy about that. And when you look at the recommendation as well, and overwhelmingly 94% says that they would actually recommend this program or participation in this program to a friend or a colleague. In terms of the KPIs, we can also see that a overwhelming amount increases their knowledge about sustainability and the SDGs, as well as how they relate to their company's operations. Over half managed to expand their global professional network and gain confidence to become change makers within their company. We're also very excited about the number that you see in the bottom right corner, which is when we asked after a year, how many of the company solutions are actually still active after the innovator team has graduated from the program, and is over 50% of the challenges. And even when we reached out to those companies that have terminated their projects, over 50% also said that it's very likely that they will be active again in the future. So just to show some examples as well for some of the projects that have actually been developed, here we have some challenges and solutions from the 2019-2020 round. You can see a lot of circular economy solutions, how they can ensure recyclability and reusability of the packaging materials in their own operations, or how they can reuse and repurpose electronic waste for creating a second or a third life for e-waste or electronics. In this round, we also had some great solutions. Here you can see one that tackled SDG 7, 9, and 13, where they realized that traditional fuel prices are continuing to increase in Kenya, but there's actually a lack of charging stations. So how can they contribute to the mobilization of a collaborative ecosystem around the uptake of electronic vehicles? Here from Mexico as well, focusing on financial or the quality of financial education and the accessibility that young people actually have to this knowledge, helping them improve financial investment and saving through digital products. And then the final example is here from the Danish company, Ghida Architects, who are experiencing the problem of rapid urban developments, how it actually increases the problems or environmental problems through unsustainable transport, energy, and waste within close communities and cities, where they also want to build digital tools to automate context mapping and systemize sustainability analysis in the very early stages of urban development. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen there. And besides the innovators themselves, we have a very different role in the program called the champion. And the champion is a very important role in this program, as they are the senior managers from the same company as the innovator team. Their role is to support them in identifying a sustainable or suitable challenge that is relevant to the company. And they also act as a link to the senior management while embedding and championing the program outcomes. So with that said, I would therefore now like to invite Ms. Gida Ibrahim to the stage. Welcome. Gida participated in the YSIP program from Lebanon and is the Corporate Social Responsibility Manager at Fattal Group, which is a leading regional distributor of premium brands operating in the Middle East and North Africa. Gida, welcome to the panel.
Thank you, Mathilda. Thank you for the introduction.
It's a pleasure to have you here. I was wondering if you can put some more words, maybe introduce yourself a little bit more and explain or describe how you first got interested in corporate sustainability.
Yes, why not? As you mentioned, I'm Gida Ibrahim. I work for Fattal Group in Lebanon. I can say that my passion for impacting others' life is innate. And I had the opportunity to be growing an work environment that encourages the social impact. And that's how my journey with CSR has started inside Fattal. I'm a stronger believer in the power of partnership, and throughout building a network internally and locally, we're hoping to make real advancements in the sustainability aspect here in Lebanon.
Great. So moving a little bit more to the YSIP program, I'm curious to hear, what was it about YSIP or the Young SDG Innovators program that appealed to you and initially caught your interest?
As a participating company of the United Nations Global Compact, we always look forward to taking part in the programs and initiatives that provide opportunities to us as a company. However, what attracted us most in this program is that it is designed for the young generation. And we all know that young people are the pulse beyond any change, whether it is at the level of corporates or even in the countries. And they are the future leaders. So the more we nurture them with tools and knowledge around innovation and sustainability today, the more I'm sure we will see advancements in achieving those goals in the future. If I may add, also the program design, structure, and the different players from moderators to innovators to guest speakers were also a good incentive for us to participate.
That's really great to hear. So for you, it's been really about the youth kind of component and aspect.
Yes.
It's been a way for you to engage youth within your own company.
Exactly.
Great. And then I'm curious now, where I participated in the closing event in the Lebanese program last week, and we're in the closing event of the global stage here. And I'm very curious, what benefits have you experienced so far from having your company participate in the program?
Listen, we have many benefits, to be honest with you, besides, of course, the exposure that any company can get. It helps you. It's an accelerator to better promote the SDGs inside the company, because it involves many departments. It involves people from different levels. So it is really a faster spreading for the promotion of SDGs. It also promotes the mentality of innovation and entrepreneurship, which we usually miss because of our day-to-day business life and goals. So it was a good breather for us to stop and rethink of how we can innovate solutions for our own community and maybe for the community at large. It has also a very good impact, or a positive impact, on raising the competitiveness inside the company. Now we have a project in hands that we're hoping to achieve in the coming year, hopefully. And I'm sure that it will encourage other people to come out and to think of other ideas. And that's what will keep the pulse going on in our company.
Maybe now that you mentioned the project that you've been working on, you want to put a couple of words on what it is that your innovator team and what you have been working together with them on achieving?
Yes. With our team, we have prioritized goal number 3, which is good health and well-being. And the reason why we did it is, as you may know, in Lebanon, we're going through a very hard crisis, and we're trying to solve back things related to our basics, like preventive medicine. So we've come up with the idea of having in-house a clinic that people can access physically, but also they can access through an application that will enable us as a company to have records of our community, and will end up with e-health cards for all employees that will enable them will enable them as well to be able to get special treatments with the centers that we will be connecting them to for advanced consultations.
Sounds very fascinating. A very internal project then, really focused on the internal stakeholders.
Actually, Mathilda, it's not only, yeah, we're talking aside you and I before that, this program gives many opportunities and many rooms for innovation. But unfortunately, in our case, we of course, we benefited from innovation, but we had to invest it to answer a mere need that that we're facing in our community now with the currency devaluation. Most of the people in Lebanon, more than 37% of the people in Lebanon, are not able to benefit from preventive medicine. So I think it's a need for our community. It will boost the engagement of our employees because we're stepping one more step next to them.
I think that sounds like an excellent example of a challenge that has been identified in the current context that you find yourself in, and something that can then trickle over to create even better positive benefits for, yeah, like you said yourself, not just the internal stakeholders, yes, but then also the community surrounding your company.
Of course.
Your role as a champion, maybe you can put a couple of words on that. What's next now when the program is finishing? How do you see your role championing these kind of outcomes internally?
Yes, exactly. Our role as champions doesn't stop when the program finishes. I think it starts now because now we have project in hand, and it's counting on us as champions to make it happen, to execute it. So the main role, yes, now is for me to follow up and to ensure that the management will support us in implementing this project inside the company.
Great. Yeah, that's also something that we find very important, something we want to support with, to make sure that these challenges and solutions and projects are actually taken to that step further and actually incorporated and implemented into the companies.
Yes, actually, as champions, I'm sure, and others can relate to this, we learn through this program as well with our innovators. And we're also challenged. We do have a role, a marketing role, to support and promote what our participants did. We have sometimes a moral support role. I know they are challenged, they are really stressed. So we are there all along the way. But now it's our role to make it happen after all the hard efforts that they put in.
Are they going to stay engaged, do you think, in the program or in the projects, the innovator team?
I trust they will. They have put a lot of efforts. It's their baby after all. They've came up with an idea that they themselves needed, and that's what they surveyed the need inside the company, and they are convinced with the project. They pitched it, and I see no reason why they cannot and they won't be engaged in the future.
Great. And then I have a final question, which is, more a recommendation, or, if there's a person or a company that is looking to participate in this program, do you have any recommendations for them, things that they should keep in mind?
First, I would definitely recommend it. It's an opportunity full of learnings. It's a mix of learnings, innovation, sustainability, and every company needs to invest in this sector, because after all, if you do not innovate and if you do not care about what is threatening us, we will not be able to continue. So there is a real benefit behind it for every company. I recommend they participate. I recommend that they expose their community of employees to such a program that is really structured, very well structured, all along the way. They will get exposure not only locally through their own network, but here I am today, here with you, and it's by itself a good opportunity.
Thank you so much, Gida, for sharing your experience and insights with us. It's very useful to hear directly, definitely from a person who has participated in the program. And I'm personally very happy to hear that you've had such a positive experience. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mathilda.
So now I want to move on to the final stage of this session. Over the past 2 rounds, we have collected great feedback from the program and the participants, and we would now like to apply all of our learnings to scale this program up by broadening our reach of countries that we offer it in, and involving a larger number of companies to give them the opportunity to take part of what it is that we have created. Furthermore, it is fundamentally a program for youth engagement, where we offer companies an opportunity to leverage the knowledge and the skills of the young talents in the organization. But we might actually want to explore a potential new stakeholder group. So with that said, I would like to welcome Mette Morsing to the panel, who is the director of the UN Global Compact Sister Initiative Principles of Responsible Management Education, or PRIME for short, who also sits on the steering committee of YSIP. Welcome, Mette.
Thank you very much, Mathilda. Thank you for having me here.
It's my pleasure. So I'm just going to go straight into it. And when we are talking about young people more on a general scale, what role do you think young people actually play in the context of innovation to the SDGs? Why is it important to include them in the development of the solutions?
Yes, no, thank you for this question, and thank you for thinking about how we could engage, you could say, even younger people than youth, the young professionals in the next round of YSIP. In my former career, before I stepped up as head of PRIME, about 1.5 years ago, I was a professor, Stockholm School of Economics. I was a professor at Copenhagen Business School. So I have had a lot of experience with students, and not just teaching them in the classroom, but also engaging students with businesses. And it has been amazing to see how some of our student teams have actually helped businesses, help small, medium-sized enterprises, but also larger companies in identifying challenges, but indeed also creating new and innovative solutions to challenges that companies have themselves identified. So I think that there is an untapped potential in actually engaging with youth and engaging with students, not just because of the obvious talent spotting, that you'd like to engage with students, like to sort of see who's out there that you would like to recruit into the future. That's of course an obvious point, but also the trend spotting. What is on the mind of youth today? How do they perceive of the world? What's important for them, and how do they approach, for example, new technologies, new ways of approaching, you could say, waste management, recycling. So I think that there's a lot to learn. And I also recently just learned that actually that Unilever, they have now a youth board to inform, to help inspire and inform, you could say, the real board of Unilever. So I think there's a new focus right now that we appreciate, that the voice of the young professionals, obviously in YSIP, but also the youth in terms of our students, are a huge source of inspiration.
Great. That was a very comprehensive answer. And you already dug into some of the things that I was going to ask in my second question, which are more around, the benefits that companies can actually see from engaging with students and academia. And I think you answered that really well, where it's a talent pipeline. On one hand, it's a way for them to, really leverage the ideation and creativity of these students. But then maybe you can, what are the benefits for the students, to engage with companies?
Yes, for students, it is a huge opportunity, of course, to engage not only, you could say, in advancing what we sort of call, the intellectual, the cognitive skills. We want our students of the world to be innovative, creative, well-informed decision makers in business. And then we put them in the classroom and we give them free text to read. And then we check if they've actually understood these texts. And we also give them a little exam to check again if they've understood that, and then we send them out in the world to actually be innovative, creative, helpful leaders to advance the Sustainable Development Goals. So what we really need, what we really want these students to do also is to have a more, you could say, hands-on, minds-on, physical even experience of entering a business, entering a company, entering an organization, and to help identify some of these solutions that are needed out there. So I think there's a huge appetite among students to actually do exactly that.
Great. And then I also just wanted to bring it into kind of the lens of the Young SDG Innovators program in that context. And why do you think specifically for this program, university students, it would be an interesting group to engage?
Yes, I think that there is both for multinational companies, but also for small and medium-sized enterprises, an opportunity to actually identify novel solutions. And particularly, I want to emphasize a particular program that I was working with myself, and that was small and medium-sized enterprises. SMEs are a category of firms that are more and more invited to not just do sustainable development in their business practices, but also to report on this, put this into system structures, if they want to be, for example, the most preferred supplier to larger businesses. Oftentimes, small and medium-sized enterprises do not have that extra resource, do not have that full-time employed sustainable expert in the organization. By engaging, for example, with a team of students who have that particular gaze, you could say, on sustainable development, how do you systematize this? How do you make a project? How do you make a program? And how do you also report on this, account for your efforts as a small and medium-sized enterprise? Here, students can actually not just identify and propose a solution to a problem, but also propose a plan for how do we make this into reality? How do we execute on this? So I think that there is, for example, for small and medium-sized enterprises, pressure to do more on the sustainable agenda. There is a huge opportunity to have student groups actually help. And I've also seen examples where someone, one of the, let's say we have a student group, 3-4 students over some months helping out with a particular project, a particular challenge. That's one of those students then become an intern in the SME and helping actually not just having make the plan and the execution plan, but actually also help execute that particular plan. So that there are a lot of opportunities, I think, for firms to benefit from the huge student capacity that we have.
Yeah, I completely agree when you share your vision in that way, and especially with what I said before in my presentation, that it's primarily larger companies that have participated in the program before, to use your own words. I think there is an untapped potential there to also scale it up and offer it to those companies that might have certain capacity restraints. Great, thank you so much. We're unfortunately at time, but Mette, thank you for drawing your experience and sharing your vision for future YSIP rounds.
No, thank you so much. It's very, very exciting. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't wait to follow where this is going. This is extremely exciting. And thank you also to Gida, who joined us before for the whole panel. Like I said, this is towards the end of the Young SDG Innovators Summit. So I would also just like to use this opportunity to say thank you so much for attending. I'm very excited to see where this program is heading, and I look forward to seeing you all hopefully next year.